I've been with the bank for almost 3 years, and I got started in this industry actually almost 36 years ago after I graduated from Iowa State University and went to work for what was then called Pete Marvick Mitchell, which was the largest provider of tax and accounting services to the banking industry in the country. So over the course of my next 25 years as a career, I worked with over 100 banks on average every year in Iowa and did a lot of merger and acquisition work, but never actually worked for a bank. But I did a lot of consulting work with banks all over the state of Iowa. So as a consequence of that, I had some knowledge of this industry, and when I was recruited by John Ruwan III to come and run this bank, it was a difficult choice because I was the CFO at Meredith, but I also knew at the back of my mind that I had a great deal of interest in this industry, and I had served on the board of the holding company which owns Bankers Trust, so I stayed in touch with this bank. And Mike Early had announced his retirement, and I was recruited to become the CEO of this bank. And after some initial discussion with John, he made me an offer I simply couldn't refuse. So I joined Bankers Trust, and knowing that I was coming to an industry with which I was quite familiar, albeit from the external sources as opposed to being an internal operations type of individual. So that is how I really got my start in this industry. My very first job actually came about as a result of the fact that my family was evicted from Uganda by Idi Amin. So I knew that I was no longer going to receive this very generous monthly check. I was in college, so I was going to be a typical student who was going to be broke. So I decided to accelerate my education. So all I did was work, study, and go to class, and the job was quite unique. Ames did not have many job openings because of the number of students, but a friend of mine, his father worked at the Des Moines Register. I got a job stuffing the Sunday paper at the Des Moines Register because the presses were such that there were a lot of things that were inserted, jammed into the Sunday paper. So I used to stuff papers every Saturday, drive down to Des Moines. It paid about 3 times what I would have earned in Ames. So I really got my start at the Des Moines Register.